let me tell you something wild. You can be married and still be the side chick. Grace Williams learned this the hard way. While she was home alone, her husband Clinton was taking his best friend Ashley to romantic dinners, buying her diamonds, giving her the attention, the affection, the love that should have belonged to his wife. Grace was the legal wife. But Ashley? Ashley was the real wife. For 3 years, Grace was the other woman in her own goddamn marriage. Until one rainy night when everything shattered. When Grace ran from her husband's ultimate betrayal, and crashed straight into a man who changed everything. Jin-Woo Park. Korean Mafia boss. Dangerous. Powerful. Deadly. He caught her in the rain, looked at her tears, saw her wedding ring, and asked, "Who hurt you?" That question. That moment. That's when the side chick became a queen. And her husband? He's about to regret every single moment he made her feel invisible. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because this channel brings you the most addictive romance stories every single day. Drop a comment and tell me, have you ever felt invisible in a relationship? Let me know, I read every single comment. Now, let's talk about how Grace Williams went from being the side chick in her own marriage to becoming a mafia queen. Grace Williams is 28 years old, beautiful, educated, and successful. She coordinates high-end events in Los Angeles, celebrity parties, corporate galas, weddings for the 1% of the society. She's the woman everyone calls when they want perfection. But in her own marriage, she's invisible. For 3 years, Grace has been married to Clinton Williams, a tech entrepreneur with a growing startup, a $1 million smile, and a best friend who might as well be his real wife. Her name is Ashley. And Ashley has keys to Grace's house. Let that sink in. Grace comes home from a long day of work, exhausted, heels in her hand, and finds Ashley sitting on her couch, eating takeout from containers spread across the coffee table. Clinton is laughing at something Ashley said, his arms stretched across the back of the couch, the same couch where Grace sits every night, alone, because Clinton is always too tired to spend time with her. "Oh, hey babe," Clinton says casually when Grace walks in, like it's completely normal that another woman is in their home. Again. Ashley brought Thai food. There might be some left. Might be. Ashley smirks, twirling noodles around her fork. "We weren't sure when you'd be home. You work so much." The judgment in her voice is clear. The implication, what kind of wife isn't home for her husband? Grace wants to scream. She wants to grab those takeout containers and throw them out. She wants to demand why Ashley has keys, why she's always here, why Clinton doesn't see anything wrong with this. But she doesn't. Because Grace was raised by her grandmother, a sweet, traditional woman who taught her that a good wife keeps the peace, that men don't like women who nag, that patience and grace will win him over. So Grace smiles tightly, says she already ate, and goes upstairs to their bedroom. She can hear them laughing downstairs. And she cries in the shower so no one hears. This is Grace's life. This has been her life for 3 years. Last year's Valentine's Day, Grace had woken up to find a card and a small box on the kitchen counter. She'd felt happy, maybe this year will be different. Maybe Clinton finally understands how much she needs to feel loved. But when she opened the card, it was something generic, something he clearly grabbed at a grocery store. "To my wife," printed in cursive. She opened the box and inside it was a kitchen gadget. A vegetable spiralizer. Her husband had gifted her a kitchen tool for Valentine's Day. She'd stood there, holding this thing, feeling her heart break just a little more. When Clinton had come downstairs, already on his phone, distracted. "Oh good, you got it," he said, kissing her forehead absently. "Ashley said you'd probably like that since you're always trying to eat healthy." Ashley said. Ashley had picked out Grace's Valentine's Day gift from her own husband. "Where are you going?" Grace had asked, noticing he's dressed in a suit, the Tom Ford one she bought him for Christmas. Got a business lunch. I'll be back later. He left Grace to spend Valentine's Day alone. Grace later found out from Instagram that Clinton had taken Ashley to Nobu for Valentine's Day. The post showed champagne, roses on the table, and Ashley's caption, "Lunch with my favorite person, Red Heart." Clinton was tagged in the photo. When Grace confronted him that night, Clinton sighed like she's being unreasonable. It wasn't a date, Grace. It was a business lunch. Ashley's helping me with the investor pitch. On Valentine's Day? In a romantic restaurant? Oh my God, you're being so insecure right now. I can't have female friends. And just like that, Grace is the problem. She's the jealous wife. She's the insecure one. She apologized and Clinton went back to his laptop, already done with the conversation. The disrespect stretched beyond the confines of their homes. Every quarter, Clinton's tech company throws a big party for investors and employees. It's a chance to network, celebrate milestones, show off success. These events are exactly what Grace does for a living. She's a professional event coordinator. She could plan these parties in her sleep. But Clinton has never once asked her to help. And he's never once taken her as his date. These things are so boring, babe, Clinton always says. You'd hate it. Plus, Ashley already RSVP'd as my plus one since she knows all the investors. So Grace stays home while her husband takes another woman to events, poses for photos with her, drinks champagne with her, and introduces her to everyone who matters in his professional life. His colleagues don't even know Clinton is married. One time, Grace showed up as a surprise. She got dressed up, did her makeup, and walked into the event ready to stand by her husband's side. Clinton's face when he saw her? Annoyed. Not happy. Not proud. Annoyed. What are you doing here? He hissed, pulling her aside. I'm your wife. I wanted to support you. You can't just show up without telling me. Ashley and I had a whole plan for working the room tonight. Ashley appeared then, looking Grace up and down with barely concealed hostility. This is awkward. Clinton, what do you want to do? What do you want to do, like Grace is the intruder? The problem to be solved. Clinton chose to work the room with Ashley. Grace left after 20 minutes, humiliated, and cried in her car in the parking garage. But the moment that finally changes everything was on Clinton's 32nd birthday. Grace has been planning for weeks. She made a reservation at Clinton's favorite restaurant, this upscale steakhouse in Beverly Hills that's impossible to get into. She pulled strings, called in favors from her event planning connections, and secured the private dining room. She bought him a vintage watch he'd been wanting. She got her hair done. She wore the red dress, the one Clinton complimented once, 2 years ago, saying she looked actually really sexy in it. It's pathetic how much that one compliment has stayed with her. How desperately she clings to any scrap of affection from this man. She arrives at the restaurant early, decorates the private dining room with photos from their wedding, lights candles, orders his favorite wine. This will be perfect. This will remind him why he married her. This will fix things. Clinton arrives 15 minutes late. With Ashley. Grace stands there, in her red dress, watching her husband walk in with another woman on his birthday dinner. Oh, babe, I forgot to tell you, Clinton says, not even apologizing for being late. Ashley just went through a bad breakup. Like, really bad. She's devastated. I told her she could join us tonight so she's not alone. Ashley's eyes are red-rimmed, clearly she's been crying. But when she looks at Grace, there's something else there. Something almost triumphant. I'm so sorry to crash, Ashley says, her voice wobbling. I didn't know where else to go. Clinton is the only person who understands me. What is Grace supposed to say to that? No, you can't join us, even though you're clearly in pain. She's trapped. So she smiles and says, of course. The more the merrier. The words taste like acid. Dinner is a nightmare. Ashley sits in the chair Grace decorated, the one meant for Clinton, across from Grace. Clinton sits at the head of the table between them, but his entire body is angled toward Ashley. Ashley cries. Clinton comforts her. He holds her hand across the table. He tells her she deserves so much better than her ex. He makes her laugh through her tears. Grace might as well not be there. When the waiter brings out the birthday cake Grace ordered, chocolate with espresso frosting, Clinton's favorite, Ashley is in the middle of a story about her ex. The waiter lights the candles. Everyone in the restaurant starts singing, Happy Birthday. And Ashley, without missing a beat, leans forward and makes a wish. On Clinton's birthday cake. Then she blows out the candles. Grace watches this happen in slow motion. Watch this woman, this interloper who has slowly stolen her husband piece by piece, literally blow out the candles on her husband's birthday cake. Clinton laughs. Ashley, you're supposed to let me do that. Oops. Ashley giggles, wiping her eyes. Sorry, I got caught up in the moment. Make a wish anyway, Clinton. Clinton made his wish. But not once does he look at Grace. Not once does he thank her for planning this. Not once does he acknowledge that this was supposed to be their night. When the waiter brings the check, Clinton reaches for it, but then his phone rings. Work emergency, he says, standing up. I gotta take this. He walks away from the table. Grace sits there with Ashley in silence. And Ashley smiles, a slow, knowing smile. Thanks for letting me crash tonight. I know Clinton really wanted to spend his birthday with me. He always says I make everything more fun. Something inside Grace snaps. Not anger, but clarity. Clarity that this woman wants her husband. Her husband wants this woman. And Grace is the only person pretending not to see it. She stands up, her hands shaking. I need some air. Ashley doesn't even look concerned. Sure. I'll keep Clinton company. I'll keep your husband company. Grace walks out of the restaurant in a daze. She can't breathe. The air in there was suffocating, thick with her humiliation, heavy with 3 years of disrespect and dismissal. She walks. 1 block. 2 blocks. It's starting to rain, that light Los Angeles drizzle that doesn't happen often but feels like the sky is crying when it does. Grace walks faster, her heels clicking on wet pavement. 3 years. She gave this man 3 years of patience, understanding, and grace. She shrunk herself, silenced herself, and convinced herself that being a good wife meant accepting scraps of affection. And for what? To watch another woman blow out his birthday candles. The rain gets harder. Grace's carefully styled hair is getting wet. Her mascara is running. She doesn't care. She just walks, faster and faster, until she's almost running. And she crashes into something. No. Someone. A wall of a man. Grace bounces off his chest and stumbles backward. Strong hands catch her arms, steadying her, keeping her from falling. She looks up. And her breath stops. The man looking down at her is the most beautiful and terrifying person Grace has ever seen. He's tall, easily over 6 feet. Korean, with sharp cheekbones, a jaw that could cut glass, and eyes so dark they look black in the dim streetlight. His hair is perfectly styled despite the rain. He's wearing an all-black suit that probably costs more than Grace's car, and there's an edge to him, a danger, that she can feel radiating off him like heat. Behind him, 4 men in similar black suits stand at attention. They look like soldiers. Or bodyguards. This is not a normal person. Every instinct tells Grace she just crashed into someone very, very dangerous. I'm sorry, she stammers, trying to pull away from his grip. I'm so sorry, I wasn't looking where I was going. But he doesn't let go. His eyes scan her face with an intensity that makes her skin prickle. He takes in the smudged mascara, the tears mixing with rain, the expensive dress now soaked through, the wedding ring she's twisting anxiously on her finger. When he speaks, his voice is low and accented, Korean inflection wrapping around English words in a way that's almost hypnotic. Who hurt you? It's not a casual question. It's a demand. What? No one. I'm fine. Grace tries to smile, tries to pull away again. His grip tightens just slightly. Not painfully, but firmly. You're a terrible liar. Something about the way he says it, so certain, so absolute, makes Grace's fake smile crumble. Fresh tears spill over. I really need to go. Grace. Grace. Clinton's voice cuts through the rain. Grace's whole body tenses. She turns to see Clinton jogging up the street, Ashley under his umbrella. He clearly didn't bring one for Grace. Clinton stops short when he sees the scene, his wife held by a dangerous-looking stranger, surrounded by men who look like they could kill him without breaking a sweat. Grace, what the hell? You can't just run off like that. Clinton tries to sound authoritative, but there's a tremor in his voice. He's scared. Let's go. Now. He reaches for Grace's arm. The stranger moves so fast it's almost a blur. One moment Clinton is reaching for Grace, the next his wrist is caught in an iron grip, twisted at an angle that makes Clinton yelp in pain. She doesn't want to go with you, the stranger says quietly. His voice is calm. Almost pleasant. Which somehow makes it more terrifying. Who the fuck are you? Clinton tries to pull away and fails completely. The stranger is holding him effortlessly, like Clinton weighs nothing. That's my wife. For the first time, the stranger looks at Clinton. Really looks at him. And Clinton actually takes a step back when their eyes meet. Then the stranger turns to Grace, completely dismissing Clinton like he's irrelevant. Is this true? You belong to this man? The way he says, belong, like he's asking if she's claimed, treasured, protected, makes something flutter in Grace's chest. When has Clinton ever made her feel like she belonged to him? Like he was proud to claim her? Never. But she can't say that. She can't fall apart in front of this stranger, no matter how safe his hands feel on her arms, no matter how seen she feels under his gaze. Yes, Grace whispers. He's my husband. Something flashes in the stranger's dark eyes. Disappointment? Anger? He releases Clinton with a look of pure disgust, like touching him has contaminated his hand. Then he reaches into his jacket pocket. Clinton and Ashley both flinch, like they think he's reaching for a gun, and pulls out a business card. It's matte black with silver embossing. He presses it into Grace's palm, his fingers lingering against hers for just a moment. When you're ready to stop lying to yourself, he says softly, his eyes locked on hers, call me. Then he and his men disappear into the rain like shadows, getting into a sleek black SUV that pulls away silently. Grace stands there, rain pouring down, staring at the card in her hand. Jean Woo Park. And a phone number. What the hell was that about? Clinton snatches the card from her hand, squinting at it in the rain. Do you know him? No, Jesus, Grace. That guy looked like a gangster or something. You can't just talk to people like that. Clinton crumples the card and throws it on the wet sidewalk. Can we please just go home? Ashley's upset, and this whole night has been a disaster. Ashley's upset. Of course. Clinton walks back to Ashley, tucking her under his umbrella again, leaving Grace standing in the rain. But Grace doesn't follow right away. She bends down and picks up the wet, crumpled business card. She smooths it out carefully and slips it into her purse. Something happened in that moment, when a complete stranger looked at her and saw her pain, saw through her lies, and looked ready to burn down the world for her. Something that's been sleeping inside Grace for 3 years just woke up. Before we see what happens next, if you loving this story so far, hit that like button and drop a comment telling me, Team Jean Woo or Team Clinton? Just kidding, we all know Clinton is trash. If you're new here, subscribe because we're just getting to the good part. This channel is your weekly escape into the most addictive romance stories on YouTube. Alright, let's get back to it, because Grace still hasn't called that number, yet. For 2 weeks, that business card sat in Grace's wallet, burning a hole through the leather. She tries to forget about Jean Woo Park, the stranger with eyes like midnight and hands that held her like she was precious. She tries to be a better wife. She cooks Clinton's favorite meals. She tries to initiate conversations. She even attempts to be friendlier to Ashley, thinking maybe if she's less jealous, Clinton will finally see her. It doesn't work. If anything, things get worse. Ashley's presence becomes even more constant. She has opinions about Grace's decor. A little basic, don't you think? She'd say. She'd complain about Grace's cooking. Clinton actually prefers his steak medium rare, not medium. She complained about Grace's career. Event planning is basically just party planning, right? Like glorified birthday parties. And Clinton never defends Grace. Not once. Then comes the incident that breaks the camel's back. Grace leaves work early because a client meeting gets cancelled. She's actually happy about it. She can go home, take a bath, relax for once. She walks into her bedroom and freezes. Ashley is there. In Grace's closet. Trying on Grace's clothes. Clinton is sitting on the bed, scrolling through his phone, laughing at something Ashley is saying. What is going on? Grace's voice comes out steady, but inside she's screaming. Ashley spins around, not even looking guilty. She's wearing one of Grace's dresses, a cream-colored designer piece Grace bought for a special event. Oh. Grace. You're home early. Ashley laughs. I spilled wine on my shirt at lunch, and Clinton offered to lend me something. Hope you don't mind. Clinton offered to lend Ashley Grace's clothes. From Grace's closet. I do mind, actually, Grace says quietly. That's my dress. It's just a dress, babe, Clinton says, not even looking up from his phone. Don't be weird about it. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Ashley turns to the mirror, admiring herself. Besides, it looks better on me anyway. You never wear anything fun, Grace. You should let me raid your closet more often. I could actually make use of this stuff. The casual cruelty of it takes Grace's breath away. And Clinton? He laughs. He actually laughs. Clinton, can I talk to you? Alone? Grace's voice is shaking now. Clinton sighs, annoyed. Fine. They go into the hallway. Grace can hear Ashley humming in the bedroom, still going through her closet. You need to set boundaries with Ashley, Grace says, trying to stay calm. This isn't okay. She can't just be in our bedroom, going through my things. Oh my God, Grace, seriously? She needed a shirt. You're being ridiculous. I'm being ridiculous? Clinton, she's in our bedroom. She has keys to our house. She's here more than I am. Because you're always working. Clinton shoots back. Maybe if you were home more, like a normal wife. I work because we have bills. I work because I have a career that I love. And I'm allowed to have that without coming home to another woman wearing my clothes and disrespecting me in my own house. Disrespecting you? Jesus Christ, you're so dramatic. Ashley is my best friend. She's going through a hard time. I'm sorry you're too jealous and insecure to understand that some people actually have healthy friendships with the opposite sex. Every word is a slap. Jealous. Insecure. Dramatic. If you spent half as much energy on our marriage as you do on Ashley. There's nothing wrong with our marriage except your attitude. Clinton's voice rises. I'm done with this conversation. Stop being a bitch about my friend, Grace. I mean it. He calls her a bitch. Her husband just called her a bitch for asking him to respect her boundaries. Clinton goes back into the bedroom. Grace can hear him and Ashley laughing again within seconds. Grace walks downstairs like a zombie. She sits on her couch, the same couch where Ashley eats takeout with her husband. She stares at nothing. 3 years. 3 years of swallowing her pride, her hurt, her self-respect. For what? To be called a bitch in her own home? Grace pulls out her wallet with shaking hands. The black business card is still there, slightly wrinkled from the rain 2 weeks ago. She stares at it for a long time. Then she picks up her phone and dials. He answers on the first ring. I was wondering how long you'd make me wait. Jean Wu's voice is exactly as she remembers, low, accented, dangerous. How did you know it was me? Grace's voice comes out barely above a whisper. That number is only for you. No one else has it. Something about that he gave her a private number, that he's been waiting for her to call, makes Grace's heart race. I don't even know why I'm calling, she admits. Yes, you do. A pause. Have you eaten? What? Dinner. Have you had it? Grace blinks. Of all the things she expected him to say. No, but I'll send a car. 20 minutes. Wait, I didn't agree to. Grace. The way he says her name, like he's tasting it, savoring it. You called me because you're done being disrespected. Let me feed you. If you want to leave after, I'll take you home myself. You have my word. Grace should say no. This is crazy. He's a stranger. A dangerous stranger. But upstairs, her husband is laughing with another woman who's wearing her clothes. Okay, Grace whispers. Good. Wear something comfortable. And Grace? Yes? Leave your wedding ring at home. He hangs up. Grace sits there, heart pounding, phone still pressed to her ear. What is she doing? 20 minutes later, a sleek black car pulls up outside. The same one from that rainy night. Grace walks out. She changed into jeans and a simple black top, and yes, she left her wedding ring on the bathroom counter, and gets in. Clinton doesn't even notice she's left. The car takes her deep into Koreatown, down streets she's never been on, until it pulls up to what looks like an unmarked building. One of Jean Wu's men opens the door for her, bowing slightly. Inside, it's beautiful. A private Korean restaurant, traditional with modern touches, all dark wood and soft lighting. And there, at a table in the back, is Jean Wu. He stands when she enters, and Grace's breath catches. In the rain, in the dark, he was handsome. In the light, he's devastating. He's wearing black again, tailored perfectly to his tall, lean frame. His hair is styled back from his face, showing those incredible cheekbones. And his eyes, God, his eyes are on her like she's the only person in the world. Grace, he says, and she loves the way her name sounds in his accent. Hi. She sounds breathless. He gestures to the chair across from him, and when she sits, he sits. Immediately, servers appear with an array of dishes, Korean food that smells incredible. Grace recognizes some of it from takeout places, but this looks completely different. Authentic. Expensive. I didn't know what you liked, Jean Wu says, so I ordered many things. Whatever you don't eat, I will. This is too much. Nothing is too much. His eyes hold hers. Not for you. Grace's stomach flips. Jean Wu watches as she tries different dishes, his gaze so intense that she feels self-conscious. Why are you staring at me? She finally asks. You're beautiful when you're not crying. It's not said like a compliment. It's said like a fact. Like he's commenting on the weather. Grace doesn't know how to respond to that. You don't know anything about me, she says instead. Then tell me. Jin-woo leans back in his chair, giving her his complete attention. Everything. And somehow, Grace does. She tells him about growing up with her grandmother. About learning to be quiet and accommodating. About meeting Clinton in college and thinking he was perfect, ambitious, charming, successful. About the engagement, the wedding, the first year that was good before Ashley came back into Clinton's life after her own divorce. About the slow erosion of her marriage. The humiliation. The loneliness. About feeling like a ghost in her own life. Jin-woo listens to everything. He doesn't interrupt. He doesn't offer empty platitudes. He just listens with that intense focus that makes Grace feel like her words actually matter. When she finishes, her eyes are wet but she's not crying. Jin-woo is silent for a long moment. Then, I want to kill him. He says it so calmly that it takes Grace a second to process. What? Your husband. I want to kill him for making you feel like this. Jin-woo's voice is still calm, but there's steel underneath. I won't. Because you wouldn't want me to. But I want you to know that I could. Easily. Grace should be scared. She's not. What are you? She asks quietly. Who are you, really? Jin-woo tilts his head slightly. What do you think I am? Dangerous. Yes. Some kind of criminal? Yes. I should leave. You should. Jin-woo leans forward. But you won't. Why not? Because I make you feel alive. And you've been a ghost in your own life for too long. Grace's breath catches. You don't know me well enough to say that. I know your husband is a fool. I know his friend wants him, and he's either too stupid to see it or too selfish to care. I know you've convinced yourself that suffering in silence makes you noble. Jin-woo's eyes burn into hers. And I know you deserve better. And you're better? It's a challenge. Jin-woo's smile is slow and dangerous. I'm far worse than him, Grace. I've done things that would make you run. But I know how to treat what's mine. I'm not yours. Not yet. The promise in those two words sends heat racing through her body. They talk for hours. Jin-woo asks her about her work, her dreams, what she wanted before she learned to make herself small. He tells her about Korea, about growing up in Busan, about the family business. He's vague about details, but Grace understands. Organized crime, about coming to America to expand operations. He teaches her Korean words. Yobo, honey. Sarangi, I love you. Aryamdae, you're beautiful. When Grace tries to repeat them, her pronunciation is terrible, and Jin-woo actually laughs. A real laugh that transforms his stern face into something breathtaking. Again, he says, patient. Arumdawa. Better. His smile is soft now. You're learning. It's almost midnight when Jin-woo finally says, I should take you home. Grace doesn't want to go home. Home is cold and lonely and full of humiliation. But she nods. Jin-woo drives her himself this time, in a sleek black sports car that probably costs more than Grace makes in a year. When they pull up to her house, all the lights are off. Clinton is either asleep or not home. He probably didn't even notice Grace was gone. Thank you for dinner, Grace says softly. Can I see you again? Jin-woo asks. I'm married. That's not what I asked. Grace looks at this dangerous, beautiful man who spent an entire evening making her feel seen and valued. Yes, she whispers. Jin-woo's smile is devastating. Tomorrow. I'll text you. You don't have my number. Yes, I do. At her surprised look, he shrugs. I'm very good at getting information I want. He shouldn't be attractive. That should be creepy. But Grace's heart is racing, and when Jinwoo reaches over to tuck a strand of hair behind her ear, she leans into the touch like a flower to